Hi everyone, this is Adriana, joined here with Caitlin, my grandmother from Bhakti Galactic Healing for Heart to Heart Astrology Podcast. And we do these videos usually once a month to let you know what astrology is going on, especially galactic, specifically galactic astrology. We both are galactic astrologers, and today's video is going to be focused on the total lunar eclipse, which is the 7th of September, or might even be 8th September, depending where you live. I think in Australia might be into the 8th. But we are in eclipse season. Here we go. Got a lot
Woo!
happening.
Time to get
When
eclipsed. Uh-oh.
there is a beautiful star alignment to the fixed star Achernar, which is in the Eridanus constellation. So before we get into it, if you're new here, I'm Adriana, Starry Sky Readings, and I am located in the UK, but I do readings all around the world, pretty much. So all online. I do galactic and specialize in past life readings. I've done tarot readings for over 5 years now, so I like to use divination in my readings too. So you get a little taste of both.
Yes, I'm Caitlin and been involved in metaphysics my whole life. 69th year. My parents were very metaphysical people. I was very blessed. Been involved, and I am involved in Reiki, yoga, Qigong, Tai Chi, and then astrology came in around 2018. Found Julia 2022, and here I am enjoying, especially doing this with you, Adriana. It's a wonderful way for us to see each other since you're so far across the ocean, and to practice our hobby and our interests together like this. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in and joining us. So let's dive in. Caitlin, why don't you take it away first? And I know you see some things happening around the eclipse too as it's starting. So what are you seeing here that we should look out for?
Sure. We've got some very important alignments as well on September 6th. We have Uranus returning to Taurus. This will be the last lap, and it's going to also be going retrograde. So Uranus in retrograde can be have a positive side to it sometimes, but not necessarily with as far as associated with innovation, freedom-oriented energies. It can be a little bit more of a slowing down when that happens. Um, so Taurus is a sign that's, of the earth element. It is also blessed to be ruled by Venus. So we could see a more grounded approach to how we're seeking our freedom or innovation, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even financially and materially. So on many levels. But again, it's the final chapter for Uranus in Taurus. It's going to go through February 7th, 2026, and then Uranus will return to Gemini and will be there, I think, till 2033.
A
So
long
that,
time.
yeah, it is. So that's an important alignment to think about. And then the other one, I'm just going to make a quick mention of it because I think it is important to note, and you might to check your chart on this as well, is September 13th. We're going to have a Mercury cazimi at 20 degrees, 54 minutes in Virgo. And this is considered what's called a superior conjunction. And I want you to remember that a cazimi translates as an exact moment in the heart of the sun. And with a Mercury cazimi in Virgo, we could experience incredible clarity, intuitiveness, and an ability to organize on an idea level, as well as following through with practical application. So, focusing in meditation first to diffuse any chaos on any level, and then filter out what you don't want. So, you're cleaning out the closets of your mind first, and then tackle maybe your physical closets, and Virgo will be satisfied with that.
Yeah,
So,
Mercury and Virgo pairing up there, that's really good for that.
So, but let's talk a little bit about the eclipses just in general. So they are moments of cosmic alignment. And this lunar eclipse in Pisces and Virgo will take place on the 7th, possibly the 8th, and as Adriana mentioned, if you're like in Australia. But think about this. We are now in the reversal from last spring's lunar eclipse, which was on March 14th when the sun was shining in Pisces and the moon was full in Virgo. And along with our Earth, all three were in exact configuration. So that's what happens. A lunar eclipse creates a supercharged full moon, and it signals a time to let go and a time for completion, especially since this is the second one around right now with this combination reversed. Okay. Basically, wanted to talk a little bit about, I'm going to have to do my share screen. So let me get over here. What I noticed was Eridanus, which is the constellation, and the fixed star is Achernar. And it's going to be in our sun in Virgo, that 15 degrees, and it's opposing Achernar.
Oh, yeah, I see a great attractor there
You do.
too.
Okay, thank you. There we go. It's showing up also with the moon as well. And then it's also showing up in the nodes. So there's definitely some shutting down with the great attractor energy or challenges coming up on some level. And then we've got our moon in Pisces. And ignore the house. This is just for our area here where I did the chart, but you'd have to look at your own area to find the house it's going to affect. But it's conjunct with our Achernar and very close with the 18 minutes. Also, the North Node in Pisces is conjunct. That's over here. And then the South Node is opposing. So we have everything very much coming up with this fixed star Achernar. Oh, and I did want to mention, I'm sorry, the trines and sextiles with Lyra. And here we go, Lyra and the Vega part. And then up here, there's a trine. But anyway, so I just wanted to speak a little bit. I'm just looking at these combinations and things. And with the Egyptian Atlantis energies, with that sun opposition, the last couple years, I think it's very much on the world stage as well as in our personal lives, and watching for the tendency towards self-absorption. I think this is hugely important. I feel it's going to get exemplified during this Pisces lunar eclipse. And then with that South Node in Virgo, we have to really be careful that we don't get too caught up in the details, too caught up in trying to control things that really we cannot control. So what are some of the themes that may come up here and influence? Because Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, and it's known for being the planet of great compassion, as Pisces, a zodiac sign, is as well, and weaving our dreams and creating spiritual enchantment. So the North Node in Pisces may encourage you to look more deeply into your multidimensional soul and explore what is hidden. But the South Node in Virgo can bring the razor sharp attention to details to crack open what is discovered and what is not healed. So there's going to be a lot of sore wounds which require your attention. And this healing is going to bring up a lot of karma that has to be dealt with. We can't keep sweeping it under the rug like Virgo might want to do. Um, it's just not going to happen. So also this time around, the sun is in Virgo and will shine precision and practicality, and especially during the partial solar eclipse at 29 degrees Virgo on September 21st. So the effects of an eclipse can be felt and experienced anywhere from a month to 6 months. So when the next eclipse unfolds, we'll talk about that. We're going to actually talk about that partial one a little bit later. So these eclipses absolutely affect everyone. It doesn't mean you have to be a Pisces or a Virgo. Everybody gets affected. But you need to check your astrology chart and see where those signs might appear in your chart. Everybody's very familiar with sun, moon, rising, those the big three they're called. But where is your Jupiter? Is your Jupiter in Pisces? That's hugely important. And Adriana and I do charts, and we really can point out to people where things are affecting you. And where are your powerful planets? Where are the planets that are more challenging, etc.? It really helps to get your chart decoded. We crack that code and figure that out for you, and it's a great thing. I've had so many people say, I keep looking back at it and I keep discovering more. I keep discovering more. So you can check in with us at our email addresses. So what would you want to do during this time? How about meditation and inner work through that lunar eclipse? You might receive some amazing revelations. It's a great time to receive Reiki, and I'm getting a lot of bookings for this. And other energy healing techniques may help with karma, shadow work, ancestral energies rising up. They're going to want to come up into this full blood moon to be dealt with. And I found this little thing which was interesting, that the Incans and Mesopotamians considered the blood moon as a time of the death and or downfall of a king. And the Native Americans, on the other hand, interpreted the red color of the moon as being deprived of love and affection, and that everybody would need to be in more of a state of receiving nurturance and nourishment. So I thought these were two interesting interpretations. So anyway, so ask these questions. I love to throw out questions for you guys to journal about. Where am I not receiving nurturance? Is it in my significant relationships, be they personal or professional? Where do I feel taken for granted, not appreciated? Who do I need to have a powwow with, discussing how I'm feeling? If not the partner, maybe a therapist. Now turn this around. Where and who am I not giving any nurturance to? So where am I self-absorbed? Am I taking certain people for granted, be it personally or professionally? Am I not extending any appreciation or love to them? And ask yourself, why? Why am I doing this? So that's what I wanted to share about the eclipse.
Could I also chime in on something too that
Please.
you mentioned? It just kind of dawned on me when you mentioned about, Neptune being Pisces ruling planet. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this already, but I'm having very intense dreams and
Oh,
struggling with sleep
oh,
too,
oh.
more than usual.
Yeah.
So, have you had anything like that going on? But that's
Oh,
definitely that.
everybody's talking about it. All my
Yeah.
clients, I've been being asked questions. A lot of astral traveling, a lot of astral traveling. We are doing
Mm.
so much work while we're asleep, and it's affecting it. Plus, we are having M solar flares that are building towards a major big X flare. I don't know when it's going to hit. We never do. The big X flares often happen around like holiday times. I've noticed this. Weekends, time where they're not working and being so busy that they have time to think about the issues in their lives. Okay. And it's like the collective thought process, I feel, just causes this big explosion of energy. And we'll get that from the sun because everything is connected. Absolutely. There is nothing that is not connected. So don't think like everybody thinks like, well, my thoughts aren't going to contribute to the collective. Yes, everybody's thoughts do. Absolutely. And if you're unconscious all the time, you're creating more unconsciousness in the world by staying unconscious. So don't get me started on that.
Yeah, very
Tough stuff.
Neptunian with this eclipse.
Yeah,
And it just
yeah,
kind of dawned on me when yeah, we're
yeah.
talking
Well,
about that. So,
Neptune is the planet of being unconscious. There's no doubt. It takes us into other realms, subconscious, all that stuff. Pluto too.
yeah.
They're the furthest, and they're the deep, dark planets of exploration of our subconscious. So both of them.
Yeah, that's that dark night of the soul journey, going deep.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
with
that's what
Pisces.
pays off. It pays off. And a lot of people
Yes,
don't
it
want
is.
to stay the course. They'll only dip a toe in, and they'll never get their whole foot in, let alone their whole being and then they keep coming back around. We'll keep coming back around and around and around and around and around and around and around.
Well, that's what these eclipses are good for, even if it is difficult. It's about cycle breaking.
Mhm.
It's an opportunity
Definitely.
for that.
Absolutely. Great.
Hmm.
Yes. 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 I'm glad you mentioned that. Totally. All right. So this is what we're going to talk about. Again, I showed this earlier. We've got, let me pull this over so you can see the sun again opposing. We've got the moon conjuncting. So again, the moon is definitely more unconscious energy than the sun would be. There's no doubt. Okay, this is subconscious realm. This is very conscious when we get in the sun. So, and then down here in our nodes, which are on stage right now with the lunar eclipse, they are right on the stage right here. Okay, so this is who we're talking about. And again, look up on our Galactic astrochart.com and put in the dates, September 7th, 2025, your city, to find out what houses. See, this is the house right here. It's going to be affecting you. Okay. It's 144 light years away from Earth. I mean, this is very far. And there's light years between the stars, so it's like a string of stars, like a river of stars. And in Greek mythology, the Olympians and Titans were often considered like the Eridanians. That would be the correlation there. The Greek writings, if we go back in time, it was considered a mythological river in distant northern Europe called Eridanos. Eridanos, yeah. But they found it doing a construction of the city's metro system in Athens, and they found an actual physical stream that they feel was the Eridanus River. Okay, so that it did actually exist, which I thought was fascinating. Get back into my guides told me that the Eridanians and where they live, it's like New Zealand. It has lots of different terrains. So, yes, exactly where The Lord of the Rings was filmed is New Zealand. To think of that movie and the different, it's such an, I want to go to New Zealand so bad. I don't know how I'm going to get there. But you'll have to drug me the whole way for that plane ride or like 20 some hours. But
Yeah,
but
yeah, long
if I
plane.
went there, I don't think I'd ever want to come back. I just feel like that's home to me, and I have never been there, but I just love everything about it. And if I ever could get there, nobody's dragging me back. They'll have to let me in. So they're very telepathic beings, the Eridanians. And I just want to kind of give just a little summary, and then I know you're going to talk about them as well. So what's interesting is when an Eridanian chooses to be a star seed here, they're very picky about the DNA line that they incarnate into. And the reason is what has been intuited by many channels is the genes need to be important because certain genes will be easier for them to come in and be a star seed into a human body. So very intelligent star seeds that plan it ahead of time, very, perfectly. And a lot of them come into royal bloodlines or what they would seem like royalty, even though they may not have the money or that pedigree, but they'll have a royalness towards them, not unlike the Regulans as well.
Very interesting. I had no idea about that with ancient Greece that they uncovered that in Athens.
Mhm.
So that's really cool
Yep,
to
yep.
find that out. I
I
learned
can't
something new
remember
too.
what year, maybe like 1983. I didn't write it in my
Hmm.
my notes, so I don't know.
Okay, not too
But
long ago then, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna kind of give my take now too on this lunar eclipse on again the 7th of September. Very similar to what Caitlin has shared already, but this is occurring in Pisces at 15 degrees. Is that right? Let me just double check
Mhm.
myself.
Yes.
Yeah, 15 degrees. So check in your own chart where you may have 15 degrees. That's another good way of finding out how this eclipse can be affecting you, especially on an emotional level. Achernar, yes, it's the brightest and last fixed star at the end of the river constellation Eridanus. So again, this is a constellation that resembled a river to the ancient people. They saw this as a river. It was depicted actually as the Nile River for the ancient Egyptians, or the Euphrates, which would have been in ancient Mesopotamian time. In classic astrology, alignments to Eridanus brings omens of rain, which, wouldn't be too surprising around this time of year for those of us in the West. And with Pisces, there can be more chance of higher rainfall and floods of that kind of nature. With this being a total lunar eclipse, I also feel this relates to cycles ending, especially karmic ones, as Caitlin also mentioned as well. So something to reflect on, are there cycles keeping you trapped under the water, so to speak? Going deep, right? With Pisces and that Neptune energy. If you feel like you're sinking, it's time to find a way out, grow a tail, and do what you need to do. Illusions or even deceptions, because there is a deceptive undertone with this too, with Pisces. So that's like the dark side of Pisces. So those illusions might be kind of clouding your judgment and emotions around this time. So kind of be aware of that. The eclipse illuminates what's been hidden in the dark, but it lights the path for change forward. So with the star Achernar representing the end of the river and the eclipse representing an end of a cycle, we're seeing that parallel, right? So it's really this time to transition yourself emotionally and spiritually into a new phase or even a new chapter. For some of you, this could be a small thing, that occurs for you. For others, this could be major change, though, not going to lie. It could be a big impact on you. So what are some of the Eridanus traits? So people who have this in their galactic natal chart, this would be something that, me and Caitlin could look at for you as well and get a full reading on. So you might have an active mind, but kind of lacking some focus, perhaps even getting exhausted, distracted from the want to do many things. I can relate to that. I don't know if I have Eridanus actually. Intelligence, though, figuring things out very quickly, being able to intuit, picking up on energies very easily, very adventurous, active type of qualities with people who have this alignment, sense of humor, and loyalty, especially to those that they see as their family or friends. And of course, sensitive, especially to any sort of hurt or rejection. So maybe rejection sensitivity, part of that. Caitlin, do you want to share some more traits that you've seen as well?
Yeah, usually I have quite a few clients that are Eridanian starseeds, and so I'm familiar with this one, and I feel they have extreme ability with intuition, really to be considered ESP type people, that good, able to pick up on paranormal phenomena. Um, and I also feel they may be able to create such kind of fantastic worlds in their imagination that just can't measure up to what their life is right now. And that could be very frustrating. And I feel that they are very much old soul energies. But yeah, as you mentioned, a great sense of humor and kind of almost practical jokers at times if they want to be.
So we are going to go into our card readings now. So I pulled a tarot card, but actually I got two tarot messages just using my classic Rider-Waite tarot deck. And I also pulled an oracle card from my Moonology deck. I felt like I had to use the moon deck, with this being, of course, a lunar eclipse. Felt it was very fitting. So the cards that I got, again, I got two tarot cards, not just one, but I have the King of Swords and Two of Cups. I'll try to put both on the screen here. So the King of Swords, let's start with him first. This can be very harsh energy, but necessary. This is all about standing up for yourself and cutting away what no longer serves you. This is a king here. This is not just, this is coming into a kind of what you were saying too, Caitlin, this kind of regal energy. So being able to stand up for yourself, knowing your worth, your value here, having value to yourself, especially if there's things that are getting in the way of your path. So that is what the swords are all about, cutting things that no longer serve you in your path and don't align with your values and your self-worth. So for those of you, not going to lie, that might have to do with a relationship. We have Two of Cups here. This could be on the good side or bad side of that. So for some of you, this could be actually a new phase in your relationship. For others of you, might be kind of maybe cutting certain relationships out that no longer serve you. And that doesn't have to be romantic. That could be friendships, family, all sorts. So looking at that and seeing what aligns with you. And of course, the positive note of this, the light side of this actually could be a union coming together then. But that all comes from, what do we do first? Our own self-love, right? So valuing yourself to find that inner self-love here, that own inner union. And the Page of Swords is also on the bottom of the deck. So overall energy, something new coming in, representing something new, a new phase coming in. With my Moonology deck, I got this, the Cardinal Moon. So be bold and make the first move. You see how it's like a crescent moon, almost a crescent. This is like a transitionary period, right? With this eclipse, we are going through a transition for a new phase, new cycle. So some of you might have to, yes, be bold, be this King of Swords, make the first move, your plan of action, set it into place here. And bottom of the deck for that moon card is a personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. Now, it's not in Pisces like the eclipse, but Cancer also is very deep, very intuitive, a water elemental as well. So thinking about that, personal issue resolving from making the first move here and doing what is right by you. So just some things to reflect on there that the cards are bringing forward for you all.
Beautiful cards today. I love it.
Thank you.
Just one. I was just given one associated with this full moon eclipse. I was guided to do this deck called The Divine Masters by Kyle Gray. And I don't think I've used this one for our videos yet. To do that. And I received Paul the Venetian, and the card is called Gifted One, and revealing hidden talents, opportunities to shine. So Paul the Venetian is an ascended master of the rose pink ray of the heart. And in his earthly incarnation, he was a very talented painter during the Renaissance. And he crossed over in 1588. His earth name was Paolo Veronese. And when people get this card and pick this, he is able to help us weave creative talents into our spiritual lives and practices. So he's a wonderful teacher about how to share your gifts. And again, looking back at this Eridanus coming forward in this time, very, very gifted souls, the Eridanian energy, and but maybe not living up to it. So it very much correlates with what you just shared, Adriana, with the cards, and about maybe being a little bit more bold and stepping forward in your abilities. So Paul the Venetian is a wonderful ascended master to help us make that move forward. So I thought that card was very apropos as well, and complements what you shared as well.
Yeah, it was very complimentary. Yeah, like the King of Swords too. Yes. Okay, so hang in there with all this eclipse energy. We do have another partial eclipse, so it's not as big as the total solar eclipse, but you'll still probably feel some impact with that energy. It is with, you said it was in Virgo, is that right, Caitlin? And that's on September 21st. So we got two eclipses in the same month. But again, it is a partial solar eclipse for that one on the 21st. So a time of transformation is occurring
Well,
definitely. So
it's
let
at
us.
29 degrees. So we know that
Mm,
is an anaretic degree. So it will be a little bit more important from that perspective
yeah,
of
that's a
the,
critical degree. Yeah.
yeah, activating on a more spiritual level, on a more collective level, especially if people have certain abilities that they've come in with, might be getting a little bit of light shined on that.
Yeah, yeah, very spiritual and kind of like what we were saying, like a new cycle, a new phase, because
Yes,
you're really close with that 29, then it goes into a whole other, sign. If you study
exactly.
astrology, that's what would happen after 29. So it's like the
Right,
tipping point
right.
into the next
Yeah.
phase there.
It'll bring in that
Interesting.
precision and practicality of Virgo as well. And again, but at that
Mhm. Yeah.
spiritual level of the 29 degree, which is great.
Thank you all for joining us today. Let us know in the comments how you're feeling. If you want to come back to this video and reflect after the eclipses and just kind of see if anything has resonated or come to light after you've gone through it. We will see you in the next one. We are going to talk about our October supermoon. So stay tuned for that. Please subscribe to both of our channels and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Namaste. I just so technologically challenged. I don't
It's
know what
okay. There's
to
too
say.
many things to click and do. It's
I'm off in the forest with the elves here. Like
yeah, exactly.
elves are the Regulan elves. I don't have any Eridanus, I think, but I definitely have many elves in my chart. Okay, so and Papa and I look like elves, I think, too. Especially
Yeah,
since
you do.
we're
I think
drinking,
you guys have that elven look. Yeah.
since
Like
we're
Lord of the
shrinking.
Rings
Yeah,
too.
we
I
could have
mean
been
Lord of the
in
Rings.
like what do they call that? The people that come on and you get paid a little bit. The extra. We could have been extras in the Lord of the Rings. Okay.